Good morning. Hello, Hannah, Alice, Veronica. Good morning. Good morning. Woo. I feel like I had something in my throat for a minute. Melanie, good morning. Miss Robin, good morning. All right, here we go. So today, we're actually going to do something quite fun. We did them before, but it's these triangle ones, and actually they're going to be like fluffy flowers, so they're going to be poofy, that kind of come out like that. So what you're going to need today is a lot of thread. I chose this, like, you can't really tell on camera, but it's like a light pink color. Like on camera it looks like it's like cream, but it's actually a light pink. And then you're going to need a comb and your fingers. So here we go. I'm gonna push it away for a minute just to show you how to do it, and then we'll put them on. So that's all we're doing today. You will need a green for the stem, but we're not gonna actually do the stem today because I'm gonna teach you a different stitch for the stem and a different stitch for the leaves. So that's 2 more days right there. Hello. Just because I feel like they're good stitches to know. And I want to make sure that we do a really good variety. So you need the color green for this little, half oval shape here. And then you need the color for your actual fluffy flower. But keep that green because we're going to do the stem tomorrow and then the leaf next week. So you want to kind of keep those around. Could we fit it in today? Let me see. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, we've got 7 days left. 7. Yeah, we could do the stem today, actually. Okay. So what you're going to need to do first is you're going to, I just had to count out how many bits are left. You're going to have to find the end of your thread, which I didn't actually put this. Oh, there it is. Okay. And you're going to put, cut a length. And this right here is really important. You need to cut a length off first. And what we're going to use this for is to tie the middle. It's all going to make sense in a minute. Tie the middle, and then we're going to thread our needle on each end and poke it through the fabric. So you actually have to keep a length long enough that you can poke your needle through. Okay, so mine's that long. Okay, and put that aside. And then take your, I keep wanting to call it string. I don't know why. Take your thread like this, and you're going to wind it around your fingers. So if you want it to be really big, then do more fingers. If you want it to be quite small, then do less fingers. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to do maybe 2. Yeah, like this. And however many times that you wind it around all together, that's how much fluff you're going to have. So if you want it to be really, really fluffy, wind it around more times. So let's just see how many I've done so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll do 15. Okay? So snip that end off like that. And this is where you're going to take that other piece. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. Okay. Put it through the middle. And you're going to make sure that it's about in the middle of this. So this is what we've got so far. You're going to tie that in a knot. So this is what we have. Yeah? Now this is where you need your needle. So you're going to thread each of the ends one by one. Ooh, just giving you a whiplash like always. Okay, just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to poke it in the bottom of this. This is so tricksy because I've got these pokey things up there as well. So I'm trying to go around it, but then not hit the hoop stand where I'm recording. Then you're going to take the other one. Let me just trim off this extra because I know it's going to give me some fuss. Okay. And then you're going to poke this one in right next to where you poked the other one in. So this is what you should have. Okay. And then we're going to flip this over. And tie these in a knot. Always. Snip that off because you don't need it anymore. Okay, now this is where you need your green color. So whatever color green that you choose, you're going to use it for this next part, and you're also going to use it for the stem and this little leaf. So pick a color that you like, but also that goes with, I've already used that. Pick a different color. I want like a light, what about like a light blue like that? Okay. And for this next part, we're going to do the stem a separate way with a different, different amount of strands and everything. So just take the 6 strands how it is. Put a little knot in the end. I always feel so awkward teaching these because it is like a bit of faff, you know what I mean? Like there's like a bunch of weird type of instructions. Okay, so here's the only tricky part. You want to put all of these together, and however wide you make this first stitch, that's how wide the bottom part's going to be. So right here. So if you make it quite thin, like a short little stitch, then this whole thing's going to be quite skinny. But if you make it really wide, then this whole thing's going to be really wide like that. So any way that you feel is the best, you can do that. And all we're going to do is come up on one side. Let me just zoom it in a little bit so maybe you guys can see a little bit better. And I like to pinch it a little bit on the other side. And we're just going to put that right over top. Come on, you can do it. Like that. And you will get a little bump there, okay? But we're going to really pinch that together. So all we're going to do is do some straight stitches over the top of this. Now, the more strands that you did, the more wraps you did around your fingers, the more strands of the hair, quote unquote, you'll get, and the bigger this bump is going to be. Okay, so we're just gonna keep that same shape by going over and over and over. You're gonna get a weird little bump at the end, and you're gonna be like, I did it wrong. I know I did it wrong. You didn't do it wrong at all. That's just the way that it looks like. Hi, Jamie T. Keep kind of guiding those over. And then, like I said, at the bump, it is gonna be a little bit awkward because it is really off the hoop. This is probably like the highest point off the hoop that we've gone. So you will have a little thing where you might have to, like this, you know, build that up a little bit. But that is okay. You just keep going over and over and over until it fills it completely. And you might have to do quite a few here. These have fallen down, because I made mine like really fat. Every time I pull it, it falls down. So I'm gonna do a couple down here just to like make a little shelf for them to sit on. Hi. Guys, it does work out, okay? So please, this is normally where I start to stress a little bit, where I'm a bit like, oh my gosh, it's not working. Oh my gosh, they're all falling down. It's just what happens. So don't stress out. But please know that the feeling is, you know, reciprocated. You're not alone. So if you want to, and you think that the bottom is a little bit too bulbous, you can always go back and put a couple more stitches over top. You don't have to. It's more just how, you know, if you like it like that, if you don't like it like that, it's completely up to you. So when you're happy with how it's covered, you're gonna flip it over again and just do a knot in that green. Keep the green color though. And I'll show you one more stitch today. So we'll do one more of the floofy flowers just to make sure. And then just to make sure you got it, I'm looking for my sharp ones. Here we go. All right, so the next part is my favorite part. So what you're gonna do is cut all of these loops. Okay, now obviously that's too long because it's going off of my hoop. So I'm just gonna trim them up. This is why you need quite a bit of thread. Okay, even that I think is a little bit too long. So let's just give them a haircut again. Just because I wanted it to be quite short. You can also move these down a little bit if you think. Oop. Meaning you can like start them lower. All right, that's pretty good. It's like me cutting the back of my hair. In the back, I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. And you look at the back and you're like, what did I do? Okay, so this is where you need your comb. I got a really cheap set of combs from like the dollar store or something. And it came with this really small one. You can also use like an eyebrow comb. Apparently those work really well. But I don't have one of those, so I'm using one of these that I don't actually use. And what you're gonna do is just put your finger here and brush it out. And all this is doing is separating the strands so that instead of 6 strands twisted together, it's 6 strands individually. And it's just gonna make it a little bit more floofy. You can really get in there with that. And then obviously you can trim it again if you wanna trim it, if you wanna really get in there and get some There you go. So there's one. And obviously you don't have to brush them out if you don't want to brush them out. You obviously don't have to. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have a comb. Oh, I just don't want to do it. Then don't, keep them. Honestly, I would probably go a little bit shorter, but that's fine for now. So let's do one more, and then we'll do the chain stitch for the stems. Do you know what? I'll show you the chain stitch now, and then we'll do one more just because I feel like then people can leave if they want to, So we're going to you could probably take all 6 if you wanted to have this a really thick stem. I'm going to do 4. So I'm just going to take 2 out because I think 3 might be a little bit too thin. And 6 is going to be too thick. So here we go. So we'll do the chain stitch for the stem. And for the chain stitch, it's just like the detached chain stitch, but you don't put the tacking stitch after each stitch. You just keep going. So some people really are not a fan of this, and other people are like, yeah, I like it. It just depends. It's really nice for lettering and can give you a nice thick lettering. So here we go. If I was being really nitpicky, I probably would have put a couple more stitches at the top because it looks like it's skinny and then goes round. So yeah, I probably would have done that. Okay, so here we go. You're going to start at the top, right under here. And you're going to start just like the detached chain stitch. Make your loop. But instead of going up and then doing a stitch on the other side, you're just going to make another loop. So I like to keep my stitches small for this. Pull it tight. Obviously not too tight. Make another loop and put your needle down inside the previous loop. And you want your stitches to be about the same length each time. Back inside that loop. Again, back inside that loop. So it's just the same thing the whole time. There is another way of doing this, and I might show you again, like on the other ones. And I feel like people have really strong feelings which way that they like the best. So here's just a regular chain stitch. And to end it, you'll end it like a detached chain stitch. So you're just going to put a stitch on the other side. Like that. Okay. Now the other way, I'll show you on this one right here. There we go. Okay, so the other way is you start down a little bit farther and make a detached chain stitch like this. Okay, but this time you just go down a little bit farther again, like this, and you slide your needle underneath both of those and poke it right back down where you came up. Okay, and then you go a little bit farther down, slide your needle under the last one, Yeah, and then you continue that all the way down. Now there's pros and cons to each. I feel like the regular chain stitch is a little bit quicker, only because of like the sliding of the needle. Also, if you have a lot of stitching done already, you know, it could be a little bit like, watch out for all the other stuff that you've already stitched, because you could snag some of the other threads. And then to end this one, it's just, you just end on a stitch. So I'm going to put this way deep in here. Like that, and you just tie a knot on the back. Now obviously these have different directions, so let me zoom out a little bit and you can see. So this one, the loops are going down, like the teardrops are going down, and this one they're going up. You can change that by starting in a different place. So if you wanted them to be matching, then you could start it down here and work up that way to the end, and they could look the same. But this just shows how the teardrops will be a little bit different. It's the same stitch, just a different way of working it. Okay? All right, let's make one more fluffy flower and then I'll be done for the day. Just in case somebody wanted to see it again. Oh, Jessie's come to say hello. So we'll do this one just over here, and I'll do it without so many. So last time we did 15. Let's do like 8 or something. So the first step, you need to cut a length. That's what we're going to tie it with. Oh, I've got a knot. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Made a mess over here. Okay, and we'll do this one here. Remember, you're going to put this down at the bottom. Yeah. Okay, and then let's tie them together on the back. And we'll get our green thread out again. So you've got 3 of these flowers in total. You can do them all the same color. You could mix the colors if you want to. So you could do like 3 wraps of light pink, 3 wraps of medium pink. You could use variegated thread if you wanted to like really mix it up. Up to you. Ooh, I must have caught something back there. Just remember to use the same green as the stem. You want to keep it consistent like that. Oops. I pop over to the other one again and do some a couple more just up here at the very top. Okay, so that's pretty good. And this is when you guys can start making your own decisions on your hoops, because we've done quite a bit. You've learned quite a lot of stitches. You can start to kind of do your own thing, you know? Learn the new stitches, practice them even on a practice hoop. And then when it comes to your own hoop, your own pattern, do it, you know? Do how you want to do it. So we're going to cut the tips off here, the loops, trim the top. And as you saw earlier, it is easier to trim a lot of it off at once than go back and do a little tiny bit. And then brush it out with your comb. You could also use your needle, the eye of your needle, to just go like that, and that does work to really separate those. So there you go. You can kind of see like how much thinner this one is than this one. This one's like really lush. This one was 15 wraps and this one was 8. So you can totally see. I might cut that a little bit more as well. So there you go. So we've just got 3 to do on here. This is the whole pattern. And you've got 3 of those flowers. So I've just got 1 more to do. There you go. So that's it for me today. We did the fluffy flower and the chain stitch today. So you need to do this one on your own. All right. So I can't wait to see what colors you picked. Be sure to tag me at the Barmy Fox and use hashtag the Barmy Fox SAL to be in the feed. And I'll see you tomorrow, the end of week 3. Can you even believe it? It's gone so fast. It's just wild, absolutely wild. So don't forget to do this one. You do have to do that, just the same as these. I just didn't do it on the video. So enjoy your day, and I'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.